Fast class! Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Fast Class. My name is Dylan Cochran. I'm your host. Today is Thursday, March 22nd, an even day here at the Comac Middle School. Today, my special guest is my sister, Kayla. Thank you for joining us today, Kayla.
Thank you for having me.
I know that everyone hates to study, but our job is to make studying a little more fun. Today, our goal is to help you learn more information about the Lewis and Clark expedition that took place in the year 1804. Kayla, you were in 7th grade once. I really hope you know something about this topic.
Oh yes, I loved learning about this topic. This expedition took place right after Thomas Jefferson bought the new land that doubled the size of the United States. The name of this was the Louisiana Purchase.
Yes, the first two people in the Corps of Discovery were named Meriwether Lewis, who was Jefferson's secretary, and William Clark, who was Lewis's friend. They both had leadership, craftsmanship, and hunting skills, all of which would help them in the expedition. The land needed to be mapped out and explored before settlement could occur. They kept a journal about all the things they noticed and saw along the way.
The major goal for the Lewis and Clark expedition was to explore the vast interior of North America. Before Jefferson bought the land, he had no idea what was there. He didn't even find out what was on the land until after he purchased it. Jefferson took a very big risk when he did this, and it caused a lot of friction in the United States.
Yes, that was a very risky thing to do, especially because they didn't know if Indian tribes would be there, if any at all. This made Lewis and Clark very cautious, so they prepared with many supplies. They bought mathematical instruments such as surveyor's compass, hand compass, quadrant's telescope, thermometers, chronometers, and plotting instruments.
They also brought camping supplies and clothing. Some camping supplies included pliers, chessels, 30 striking steels, handsaws, hatchet, wheat stones, iron cornmeal, 24 tablespoons, mosquito curtains, fishing hooks, and fishing lines. The clothing included 45 flannel shirts, coats, frocking shoes, woolen pants, blankets, knapsacks, and stockings.
In case they ran into an Indian tribe, they brought things to defend themselves, like 15 prototype model 1803 muzzle-loading guns, 54 regular guns, 176 pounds of gunpowder, and an air rifle. The Teton Sioux Indians were known for their aggressiveness, power, and violence. When Lewis and Clark met them near present-day South Dakota, an armed conflict nearly occurred. The two groups couldn't communicate and had many misunderstandings, and then Lewis and Clark continued upriver.
They also brought presents for the Indian tribe in case they were nice and nonviolent. They brought 144 mirrors, 4,600 sewing threads, 144 ivory combs, handkerchiefs, and tobacco. The Arikara Indians met Lewis and Clark on October 8, 1804, in what is now South Dakota. They spent 5 days together, and the Indians were warm hosts. The corps observed and recorded the lives of the Arikaras, who were good farmers of corn, beans, and squash.
And last but not least, they bought medical supplies that included rushes, pills, lancets, forceps, syringes, tourniquets, 1,300 doses of psych, a medic, diaphoretic, and other drugs.
That was a lot to carry around, but all of it was very necessary. They had a lot of crew members with them, and they met many other people along the way. Private Moses Reed was a part of the crew from the start. He was a hunter and sawyer. He was eventually convicted for desertion and only lasted in the corps until August 1804.
Another person that was there from the start was John Newman. He was convicted for munitions acts and then became another private for the Corps of Discovery. William Clark had a big role in the Corps of Discovery also. He was the 6th son in his family and the 9th child born. He was the captain and leader of the Corps of Discovery.
Geography was another thing that affected their discoveries. The land they were exploring was filled with forests and woods. There was also lots of plain lands. They found lots of designs or graffiti along the trails. The ocean was also very blue.
Lewis and Clark encountered many different plants on their journey. One plant that they met was the bearberry. The bearberry was a bright red berry that almost looks like a cherry. It comes in a pair of 2 on a branch. It is safe to eat. The other plant was a tobacco plant, which was planted and then rolled tightly into a figure 8. People sometimes ate this plant as well.
The men also encountered many new and exciting animals, one of which was the channel catfish, which was a large fish eaten by the people over the expedition. Another animal that they saw was the piping plover. These are small birds that live near the water and feed off of small crustaceans.
Wow, we know a lot about the Lewis and Clark expedition. I guess you could call us expedition experts. Well, that concludes our show. Next week, our FAST class will be teaching you about the new video game, Fortnite. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm Dylan Cochran.
And I'm Kayla Cochran.
And this is FAST class.
Have a good night.